Hi everyone! Today we are making 5 easy recipes and muffin tin pans do all the heavy lifting. Let's go! The first recipe. It's quick, cheesy and ridiculously satisfying. Let's make a snack that's warm, melty and disappears faster than it bakes. Add 100 grams of cheddar cheese straight into the blender cup. Lid on and blitz it into fine crumbs. Then crack in 3 eggs, nice and slow, no rush here. Eggs are doing all the binding in this recipe, so we want them fresh and room temperature if possible. It makes the butter smoother. Next, add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of Italian herbs and 1 cup of tapioca starch, the ingredient that gives it that perfect stretch. Then toss in 1 cup of cottage cheese to bring it all together. Sounds unusual, but yes, we are still making pizza, just in a slightly unexpected form. Now blend until smooth and thick. It only takes a few seconds and the texture should be glossy and lump-free. Then grab a muffin tin. I'm brushing it with olive oil using a cotton pad, because I couldn't find my pastry brush. But hey, it works. No pad, use a paper towel or just your fingers. Then pour the butter in, filling each mold about 2/3 of the way. Now add a teaspoon of pizza sauce to each one. A little goes a long way, just enough to bring that classic pizza flavor without making things soggy. This is where it really starts to feel familiar, even if we started with cottage cheese. Then place 3 mini slices of pepperoni on top. I use an apple corer to get that perfect size. Any bold cured sausage will do the trick. Bake at 200 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes until golden and puffed. They come out hot, cheesy, with stretchy middles and crispy tops. Way easier to grab and eat than a full slice. Perfect for parties, kids or late-night cravings. And yes, they explode with flavor in every bite. Enjoy!
Pizza. Yeah.
To start next recipe, again grab a muffin tin, our trusty sidekick for turning breakfast into something a little fancier than usual, and set a board on the counter. Now let's meet the stars of the show, fresh, fluffy croissants. I'm using 3, which gives us 6 golden halves. Do I want to eat one right now? Yes, but let's stay focused. Slice them in half. A bread knife works best here, nice and gentle. Place each croissant half into the muffin tin, cut side up. And use your fingers to open up the center, just enough to make room for the filling. Don't worry if they look a little uneven. Once they are filled and baked, they still come out looking delicious. Now take round slices of ham and snip out 4 cuts into each one. That way they fold perfectly into the croissant, overlapping just enough to hold the shape. Next, beat some eggs with a fork. No need to overthink it. Pour the eggs right into the croissant cups, letting them soak in with the ham. Then cheese. I'm using something soft like mozzarella, and I'm not being shy with it. Shred it fresh. It melts better and gives you that perfect gooey texture. Pile it on generously right over the eggs. This is where the magic happens. Next, pop the tray into the oven, 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. This gives you golden edges, warm ham and soft set eggs with melted cheese on top. Basically, it's a croissant meets omelette situation, perfect for a cozy breakfast twist. Flaky, rich and delicious. And here's a brunch idea that looks fancy but comes together with just a bunch of eggs and a bit of care. Start by setting 2 bowls on the counter, one with a bit of water and a splash of vinegar. That's where the yolks go, it keeps them from drying out while you prep the rest. Now for the whites, I'm using a little strainer trick to separate them cleanly. It's just a paper cup with several holes. 9 eggs, 9 yolks, 9 whites. Simple. Looking for smart shortcuts and kitchen hacks? We've got a whole channel for that. You'll find the link down in the description. Add a pinch of salt to the whites, then whip them up into stiff peaks, light, fluffy and ready to hold their shape for about 5 minutes. Now fold in some grated parmesan, a pinch of red pepper flakes and chopped scallions. Mix gently, we want to keep that airy texture. Then prepare a muffin mold, I'm using a silicone one. Spoon in the mixture, leaving just enough space to add the yolk. Carefully nestle a yolk into each one, then gently cover it with a bit more of the white mixture. Bake at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit for 3 minutes, just enough to set the outside and leave the center rich and runny. And here they are, soft, airy, with that golden yolk inside. A little fancy, a little fun and totally worth making. Enjoy! Now let's build something small, warm and totally satisfying. Minimal prep, maximum joy. I set up a muffin tin, nothing fancy, just a regular one. Then I placed these small foil muffin cups inside. They fit like a charm. Now the ham. It's already sliced, nice and thin. Take a slice and make 4 small cuts around the edge, like you're making the 4 winds. That's the trick. It helps the ham sit nicely inside the cup, folding into a perfect little bowl. Next up, canned corn. Open it with the usual spoon trick. Drain with a slotted spoon. No need to rinse, just make sure it's nicely drained. All that's left – golden, juicy kernels. Spoon a bit into each ham cup, fill them up with that sunshine. Now, butter. Add a small piece right in the center of each one. It melts into everything, adding richness and that warm savory kick. Just a touch, but it makes all the difference. Time for the cheese. I'm using mozzarella. And we are not holding back. Pile it until it looks like a cheesy mountain. That's it. Into the oven. 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. They bake up beautifully, golden on top, melty in the middle, perfect little snacks. These are the kind of bites you bring to a brunch, or just eat standing over the counter because you couldn't wait. Irresistible. Enjoy! Here's a savory recipe that comes together fast and brings big flavor to the table. First, crack 6 eggs into a bowl. They form the foundation, soft, rich and full of protein. Next, add half a cup of cottage cheese. It blends smoothly and gives the texture a creamy boost without making it heavy. Now chop up half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. They add those sweet savory notes and a bit of chew, like little flavor bombs throughout the mix. Then season everything with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of dried onion and 1 teaspoon of salt. Simple pantry staples, but together they build real depth. Now grate in 1/3 cup of parmesan. Use the fine side of your grater so it melts evenly and brings that salty, nutty flavor. Next, toss in half a cup of shredded mozzarella. It melts beautifully and gives that soft, cheesy finish. Then it's time for the dry ingredients. Add 3/4 cup of wheat flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That's all you need to bring the butter together and give it just the right lift. Now whisk it all together until smooth and thick, the kind of butter that holds its shape but still falls gently off the whisk. Then spoon the mixture into silicone molds, no greasing needed, and bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. And hey, If this recipe looks like one you'd actually try, now the good time to hit the like button while it bakes. Once they're puffed and golden, they're ready to serve. Warm, cheesy and packed with tomato flavor, a savory snack that feels fresh but comforting. Perfect on their own or served with a salad, soup or even packed up for breakfast on the go. Next up, garlic bread roll. You'll need softened butter for this one. If yours isn't soft, here's a quick hack. Pour boiling water into a bowl to warm it up. Then pour the water back out and cover the butter with the warm bowl. It'll soften up in no time. Once the butter's ready, toss it into the bowl. Crush in a couple cloves of garlic. Fresh garlic really wakes everything up. Then add some garlic powder, paprika and dried parsley, layering the flavors so it's bold but still balanced. And a pinch of salt. Mix it all together into a smooth, garlicky spread. Now grab the tortillas. I'm using 3, just enough to roll into a nicely sized log. Spread that buttery mix over one side of each tortilla all the way to the edges. It's much easier if you use the back of a spoon. Works like a charm. Now overlap the tortillas into one long strip to get them ready for the next step. Then take a blender and shred about 200 grams of mozzarella. It only takes a few seconds, but makes everything quicker and easier. Next, sprinkle that shredded mozzarella evenly across the whole strip. Nothing beats that melty cheese inside. Roll it up into a big log, then slice into thick pieces around 4 to 5 centimeters. Now get your muffin mold ready. I'm using a silicone one here. It's important that it fits the size of the rolls, so they hold their shape while baking. Drop the pieces in and sprinkle a little extra mozzarella on top. Bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. When they come out, they are golden, melty and packed with garlicky, cheesy flavor. One of those simple little dishes that always makes breakfast feel a bit more special. Enjoy! Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please share it on your social media.